I'm sure that somewhere in the state of Florida, people are walking along the beach and getting a tan and enjoying the sunshine. Unfortunately, however, it's not here up on the northeast coast, where we are once again under a flood warning, thunderstorm warning. It has been absolutely pouring gully washers for the last couple of hours. But nevertheless, I never want to forget to say thank you for all the things that I'm blessed with, not the least of which is my audience here that shows up every single day, engages, likes, shares, subscribes. You guys are the absolute best. Those of you who are Patreon that have signed up, pledged the $1, you guys are making a huge difference. More than you know. Patreon is where we can speak like adults and talk about things in a more stark manner. They don't allow that here on this platform, YouTube. But over there we can do it. It's only $1 per month, even less if you sign up for an entire year, fully refundable, up to 3 months. The lowest allowable possible level, just to create a speed bump. Now, just want to say thank you to Track the Tropics as well for providing this information. I know this doesn't look like much right here. This red blob over here between Daytona and St. Augustine. But believe me, it absolutely is. This would be something people would look at and go, oh, that can't be that much. Let me show you an image from my own weather station out on the side of the house. Now, I'm sure a lot of people look at all this information. What are we looking for? It's right here where they talk about the rain. This was from 2:48 p.m. Eastern Time. At that time, 1.59 inches of rain had fallen. But I want you to look at the rate. That has been something that I have noticed this year, more so than any other. At this point, rain was falling at an average of 6 inches per hour, 5.93 inches per hour. This month alone, 13 3/4 inches. So far this year, 40 inches of rain. And that was with a couple of months where we didn't get a drop. So when we have gotten it, it has shown up in huge, huge amounts. But once again, thank you, Track the Tropics. It says no threat, and there's, of course, no hurricanes, nothing on the board, no cyclones. But where we're at here on the northeastern coast of Florida, it's definitely a different story. But in today's video, would like to make a minor correction to a statement that we made yesterday based on incorrect information that I had gotten. Citing recruiting woes, Army will shed up to 28,000, troops in next year. Now they've issued the correction here. 28,000 troops is by fiscal 2023, not by this year. By this year, they're going to miss end strength by 7,000 troops. Still, half a division. So, not good news, but not nearly as stark as it was made to seem before the correction. So just wanted to cover that. We have been talking a lot about grid down, power down, end of the world situation. What are going to be the things that crop up that nobody has thought about? You're thinking now about beans and bullets and Band-Aids and all of the different things that you can have prepped and ready to go as far as the stuff goes. But there are going to be situations that occur, and a lot of the situations are going to be a result of people not having war-gamed the psychology of a grid-down situation. How stress and anxiety and worry and depression are all going to kind of fester, even more so than they have been now. And if we look for reasons to find fault with one another, we'll find them. Because none of us are perfect. If you look for a reason to go back in time and say, well, we should have done this, I wanted to do that, and if we had done this, then it would be better. There's going to be all sorts of fault finding. And this is going to be a trap. This is going to be a problem. I've shown this image multiple times, and in today's video, I'm going to reveal the cognitive biases, the two cognitive biases that keep people from seeing the real image here. Now, I used this yesterday in a grid down scenario. That was a pretty good lightning hit right there, by the way. Wow. Grid down scenario. A couple has planned. They've survived 6 weeks, 8 weeks on their supplies, but the supplies are gone now. And the guy has gone off and he's foraging. He's going out anywhere he can to go find things to bring back home. And the kids are hungry. And now he's been gone for a few weeks. And one of the kids is very sick and needs allergy medication, let's say. And they're hungry and they're thirsty. And she's got no good answers, but she remembers there was this guy down the street a ways. And, you know, he's smiled at her a couple of times in the grocery store. She'd go for a jog once in a while, you know, and he would wave and say hi. And she kind of knew that, you know, he maybe was taking a shine to her. He'd never really done anything. But she knew if she gussied herself up and went down there, that more than likely she could come home with what was needed, because the guy was very well off. And he had plenty. Now, this was the idea. Is this wrong? Morally right? Is it morally right? Morally wrong to feed the kids, do the thing, whatever? The psychological operation was that nobody saw the third option. Nobody even recognized what the real idea was. Not one person commented saying, wait a minute, hold on. What if she just goes down there and gives the guy a chance to be a good guy? And says, hey, I know we've passed a couple of times on the street and in the store. I'm in a situation. Can you help? I'm in a bad place. I'm by myself now. I don't know what to do. Can you help? Not one person said, hey, shouldn't she just give that a shot first before offering to go to the extreme? Not one person thought of that. But that was by design. And there's two cognitive biases that you can use to keep people from thinking about stuff like that. Cognitive bias number one, anchoring. Anchoring bias makes us depend too heavily on a particular piece of initial information when making decisions and subsequent judgments. Now, of course, that was this image, the anchor. You saw the upset look, you saw the worrisome look, and then you saw, and I tried to make this image over here as blurry as possible. But anchored to that piece of information, that was all it took to throw people into their emotional brains. What's the second? Confirmation bias. You see, feminism has taught us that men can't be good guys. Even if she went down there and offered, straight up front, that a guy couldn't say, hey, that's not necessary. Yeah, I think you're cute. Yeah, I've seen you come by a few times, but yeah, I also know you're married. That's no law against saying hi to a pretty girl. There's even no law against winking at a pretty girl. But if you're in this kind of a situation, what you need to do is take this bag of chips. Here's a couple of them. It's a bag of fruit. And here's a bottle of Benadryl. And you need to go home, get out of that outfit, that costume. Give these to your kids. While you're gone, I'm going to get something going in the kitchen. And you bring them back here. And by the time you go down there, get all that done and get back here, I'll have something pretty close to a meal ready to go. Because that's the guy most of us want to be. The vast majority of guys would want to be. And not a single person made this allegation. And all it took was one image to throw people into a place where they couldn't even think of an option that lets everybody come out a winner. He's earned points with you, with the woman, because he's done the good and right thing. Yes, she's still married. That's fine. No adultery occurs. The kids get taken care of. And when the husband returns, if that's happened, nothing untoward has happened, he's not upset either. But it would take someone giving someone a chance to be a good guy. And that's what feminism preaches against. Feminism preaches always assume the man is going to make the wrong decision, the bad decision, the evil decision, and then move from there. That's what feminism teaches. Anchoring bias, confirmation bias. What the facts say, what confirms the feminist belief, gets overvalued. And that's why we teach psychological operations over at the Florida Maquis Patreon channel for $1 a month. $1 per month. Even less if you sign up for an entire year. To be able to see things like that. Here's another huge psychological operation. Mega Millions jackpot soars to $630 million after no winner matched all 6 numbers. Wait a minute. I thought we were in a recession. I thought things were terrible. People didn't have extra money. Strong ticket sales helped push Tuesday's prize to its historical rank, which was about $317 million in cash. So the big winner's the government, really. People are still buying lottery tickets. See, this was the whole Bitcoin garbage. People are wanting the one big score. I'm going to go build a house out in the middle of nowhere, and I'm going to get off grid, and I'm never going to talk to anybody again. Oh, no, wait, you know what? $600 million, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get a huge piece of property, and it's going to have a body of water that runs through it. And I'm going to create a moat, and I'm going to build, because Maquis said, a castle is the best choice. I said, treat your mind and your life like a castle, yes. I'm not sure this would be the best use of resources right now, though. Some might even go farther. Well, I would have all my friends inside the walls. The walls would be 10 feet tall. They'd be 12 feet thick. They would go underground. There would be a walkway inside. There would be parapets. There would be armed guards. There would be walking patrols. And everybody would live inside, and we would just divorce ourselves from society. Because as we know, any random group of people won't have random other groups of people that don't get along. Because everybody would just get along all the time, no matter what. Oh, and everything would be super turbo hyper capitalism all the time. There wouldn't be any social constructs whatsoever. No rules. No laws that might impinge on somebody's ability to do whatever the hell they want to do. There won't be any crazies. There won't be any nut jobs that decide to burrow underground. It'll all just be everybody getting together and learning about tactical camping inside our walls from now until till the rapture, which doesn't even exist. But anyway, people will whisper. They'll make their jokes. Let them. People love to laugh at those who see the world from a different place. They love to single people out and make grandiose judgments about who is going to survive and who's not going to survive, who's going to make it, who's not going to make it. People are going to say, hey, at least I'm not going to this, or at least I'm not going to that, or at least I'm not going to the other. I'll find some other way. And most of those people, well, they're in the fake church that was spoken of in the Bible, the Laodicean church. And those of you out there that take issue with that, say, hey, get off Christians. Really? Let me ask you a question. The term modesty. Who here in this image would be most likely to have the proper definition of the word modesty? Would it be this woman from the 1800s? Would it be this woman from the 1920s? Maybe a woman brought up in the 1950s, or maybe the 1990s. Who? Each could make allegation that they are modest, and others could make allegation that they aren't. Wild colors, leopard print. This woman from the 1880s would have none of that. But this girl over here could say, hey, at least my bare feet aren't showing and I don't have a huge V-neck here. This woman's wearing jewelry and she got her hair all bobbed off. See, this is what churches do. This is what modern Laodicean Christians do. They want to find a way to judge people, point fingers to make themselves feel better. That's why I don't have use for them much. I read the Bible, and I do what the Bible says, work out thine own salvation with fear and trembling. Because that's what the Bible says to do, not to worry about others, in the sense that based on their behavior, you have an opinion of what you are. I worry about my neighbors, absolutely. I would love for them to have the knowledge and the training that I have, but I didn't get it just magically. I was trained in the military. And I'd like to share that training like a lot of guys do with weapons, with logistics, with planning and strategy. They share all that stuff online. This is what I have to offer. This is what I have to bring to the table. The ability to use psychology to make a survival situation more tenable. Not perfect and not good, just more tenable. I'll leave it there. God bless. Like, share, subscribe. Once again, join us. Join us on Patreon. You will not be disappointed. And if you are, it's real simple. You have up to 90 days. Say, hey, Maki, it's been 90 days. You've charged me 3 times for $1. I need that $3 back, bud. It's just not for me. No questions asked. Absolutely right back at you. God bless. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.